with another SHimmerz guest design team project, and I am also still working with unconventional cut file usage. And I thought that I would bring out all of my Marvel obsession. Actually, this isn't all of it. These are just the scraps of what I've been partially used up, and they all end up in a baggie and ready to be, played with later. So I'm just going to go through really super quick. I've actually got this on super speed. Well, not really super speed. It's twice the speed, so it can go by a little bit faster because it was like a 10-minute showing of just all of some of the Marvel stuff that I have. I'm showing off chipboard, I'm showing off stickers, I'm showing off little lunchbox labels. I am, I pick out foam. This is a Nick Fury die cut that it's like a paper piecing that I put together. Children's stars, temporary tattoos, just random bits of things. This is a comic book that we got from the Marvel Universe Live that we went and watched. I've got scraps of paper that I have collected over the years for my Marvel album. Now, I do have to say that I pretty much had my Marvel album planned out, and then I went to a retreat in Ohio, and they had two other Marvel, or not Marvel, but superhero collections that I decided to add, and I went ahead and I used some of the pieces while I was there instead of the pre-planned pieces that I was going to use. So that's why I have so many large scraps, because normally when I plan out an album, I don't intend to have any scraps whatsoever, because that's just how my brain works. I want to use up everything so I don't have to store it for another project later. But I ended up, this Marvel collection ended up being way bigger than I expected it to, and the book only has probably about 2 pages and 5 pocket pages left to do. That's it. So, and then I also am working on incorporating a rather large, and I say large because it's, I think, 12 by 15 comic book. I'm incorporating that as well, so that way I can tell the story, because my pictures don't do it justice. We're not allowed to take professional cameras, which is what they say, which is DSLRs and things like that. So back in the day, all I had was a little tiny Kodiak camera. We didn't have really cool cell phones when this was going on. So anywho, again, just showing I've got patches that people have picked up at fabric shops for me. Oh my gosh, Scraptastic labels. Where did those come from? Weird glittery decal. These are wall decals that JoJo sent me. I've got labels from the give take table at a retreat, another retreat, not just the other one, and then partially used up alphabets, and then sticker sheets that were from those other collections that I picked up, oh my golly, at the retreat. All right, so what I plan on doing is taking this cut file and painting it with all of these SHimmerz products. Now, I've put it down slow so you can read the names. This is a colorings called Little Yellow School Bus. It makes my heart happy. I have a Creamies that is in Dandelion. Then I have an Inklings that is minor 49er. I am loving that gold, by the way. Creamies, which is Witch's Brew, and SHimmerz Rita on the Rocks, which I think SHimmerz comes as a liquid. So I'm going to open it up and check it out, and yep, sure enough, it is all liquidy inside. So I do need to go and spray these other inks so that way they are activated as well. So I'm going to go and spray that, and I will be right back. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up this cut file so I have multiple stars. I'm not even worried that some of the stars' little tips are cut off because they're going to be tucked and weaved in behind. I plan on doing a bunch of, what is it called, embellishments instead of a layout this time. So I'm taking the Dandelion, I think it was a Creamies, you guys, I apologize. I'm still getting used to all these different types. So it's a Creamies Dandelion, and I painted the first few stars, and then I'm going to take the Minor 49er and paint all of these solid stars. Now I do have to bring back the ones that I painted Dandelion and these ones to double paint them, so that way their intensity is a little bit more than what was originally dried. Oh my gosh, this SHimmerz Rita on the Rocks is beautiful. Wow, check out that color. Now this one here, one of them is like really, really intense, and the other one's kind of pastel-y intense, and I just am loving it. So instead of using just my glass mat, I decided to paint on a silicone mat that is by, I think it's scrapbook.com, just to try, and I'm trying something new, you guys. I'm trying to get rid of that glare, because when I turn the light off, I feel like the lighting is not dark enough or bright enough for me. And so I'm trying to leave my light on and yet not get the glare from my glass mat that I absolutely love working on. And here in a minute, I'm going to, when I'm done painting, I'm actually going to get rid of the silicone mat, and you guys get to see my desk, like actually really what my real desk looks like. Oh my gosh, it's kind of embarrassing. But anyways, when I go back through and paint the with the Minor 49er yet again, I am really putting it on uber thick. I feel like I can do that because I've already sealed the paper in with the first coating. I don't know why my brain just works that way, but I felt like I can put it on really super thick. And then, of course, I'm going to walk away and patiently wait for them to dry. And they did curl up just a little bit, but not too much. And I'm going to go through all of my supplies and pick and choose what it is that I am going to be playing with. At first, I was really excited to do this project, but when I actually sat down to do the project, I had to walk away and come back with some other idea, because when I was painting the stars, I thought, oh, for the green ones, I could do Hulk, and for the yellow ones, I could do Spider-Man, and for the blue ones, I could do, somebody else. And then when I started looking at my supplies, I was like, well, I don't have those colors, or I don't have that, or I don't have this, I was putting myself down by what I didn't have instead of dealing, like I normally do, dealing with what I did have. So I went ahead and I picked out all the little scraps and divvied them up amongst all my stars. Then I picked out a label for each star. Then I'm going to go through and I start to pick out elements and pieces that I might want on, like the paper that I already picked out had the onomatopoeias already on them. And so I started thinking, oh, maybe I want one on every single cluster. So I started doing that. And then I gave up. And I went to, okay, I'm just going to pick out all the onomatopoeias that are different than the ones that I already have. I'm going to pick out this. They don't end up, they all end up being the wrong color. They all end up being just not what I needed at the time. This is one of the rare occasions where I go through and I make one at a time. And instead of trying to, put a pile together and then work with just what I picked out, it was just too hard for me to figure that out. So first one I'm going to work on, the word clank made me remember, or made me think of Thor's hammer hitting something. So, of course, I brought in Thor, and then I'm reading my little words, and I was like, oh, those don't really go with it. They're like family words. So that doesn't really work. And then when I brought in behind the scenes, which I thought was kind of a cute saying, I thought about it, and I was like, but it's purple. Does it really go? So, second guessing myself, like I said, and this is just the first one. So I do have to walk away, but instead of leaving this little star for a cluster by itself, I brought in another star, and I thought, oh my gosh, I really like it, but I'm not sure if I like the behind the scenes part. So then I start working on another one, and I really loved this asphalt piece of paper. And it reminded me of Hulk, jumping from a building and landing in the street, right? So I know I can make stuff up all day long, you guys. So of course I brought in 2 stars again, because my piece of backing paper is really, really large. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to need 2 stars for this one too. And I brought in the word crash that I felt like was the same color as my Hulk sticker. So I am going to go ahead and start with what I knew I wanted, right? The word currently and this cute little star peeking out from behind. But now I feel like I've got this whole big old card or base to play with, and Hulk's only so big. I don't know what to do. And I'm just like, okay, you guys, I don't want these to be awful. I want them to be cute. And so what should I do? Okay, well, right now I'm going to fussy cut out these, they're washi stickers is what they are from Joann. And I fussy cut around them because the white is just too big. And as I'm fussy cutting, I find the word smash. Well, Hulk smash, hello, that makes perfect sense. So I had to walk away and get my thoughts together when it finally started, realizing that, smash it, yay. So I'm going to fussy cut around the word smash. I'm going to rip the edges because if Hulk lands there, it's going to be broken, right? So it's not going to be nice and smooth and perfect. So of course I broke it, I ripped it around. I put the star on the other side, and then I'm thinking white gel pen to write down your journaling, would be perfect. And of course that little blue piece of paper with the stars behind is going to make an appearance quite a few times because I feel like things are missing. But it doesn't end up actually staying. All right, the next one that I was really super excited about was this one here. And in a flash, no pun intended, I couldn't find what it was I was looking for. And instead, I found these buildings and I thought, oh my gosh, I already know what I'm going to do with this one. So I put one of the buildings there and then the Amazing Spider-Man at the bottom to fill in that gap. And then, of course, another city line, and Spider-Man's going to be jumping off the roof. Oh, I'm so sorry. This just makes me so happy. I was so excited and finally getting my mojo back. Not that I lost it. It just this wasn't as thrilling as it was when I first started picking and choosing all of the elements that I wanted to play with. So it really did not, it didn't excite me like most of my projects do. And so I definitely wanted to be excited, and this one made my heart happy. I was like, oh, look at that. I got my little, star in there and all that stuff. You don't need a big old huge project to use these SHimmerz paints, you guys. Seriously, you do not. I absolutely love the impact that the shimmers added to my cut file I could have painted it any other color. I could have painted it plain Jane blues, plain Jane yellows. I could have done all that, you guys. But the sparkle, it's not a sparkle. It's not, and it is a shimmer because it's there, but it's subtle. It is so perfect for me to say the least. It was like made for me. I just had to stop being scared to use the little pots. That's what it was. But and I'm going to say that every video, by the way, you guys. I'm so sorry. I should stop. But yes, it's the impact that the subtleness made in the color of the paints that made these stars just stick out and ready to be used and whatnot. And especially with the superhero theme, because they are like, special, I guess, is what I'm trying to make up. Okay, so for this one here, I finally found her, and it was the Black Widow little sticker, but she's a see-through sticker, and so of course I had to put her on white cardstock and fussy cut her out, no big deal. And I picked a sticker that said "Do your own thing," which I feel like every female needs to hear every now and then, because they can be superheroes too. Seriously. So I definitely wanted to make a girly superhero. And then this one here, I picked out a green, like a comic book bubble, and then not a bubble, but a comic book opening to make a comic book out of, and my green star. So guess what? Green guy is going to go on top of this. Not that I wanted all of these to be, about the Hulk, but I really felt like every single one of them made me want to do the Hulk. And then I found the word superhero, in green, of course, and I have to fussy cut around it as well. I just feel like that border around the washi sticker is just too big, and I was worried that it wasn't going to blend, like it was going to stick out way too much. So I took the time to fussy cut it. I also was worried about the fact that I love this saying, a day in the life and then the superhero. Now this one doesn't bother me. I scrolled on what I was saying. That one didn't bother me because Hulk's shorts are purple. So I was okay with using the purple saying, even though it's not the same color purple. I was okay with that. All right, so then next up is the word oops, because I think it's going to be kind of cute. I'm working on Marvel, and I pull out a Batman. Okay, you guys, this made me giggle. I'm so sorry. I am that big of a geek, seriously. So it's poor little Batman got stuck in between a bunch of Marvel intended embellishments, and so it says oops, but then it also says handsome fellow. It makes sense in my brain. It really does. It makes me giggle. It makes me laugh. I went to go get my favoriteest punch in the whole wide world. This is my favorite corner punch. It is just a little ticket punch. I absolutely love using this on everything. I love having an excuse to use this punch. I'm going to pop him up because I feel like he just looks dashing, popped up on this little star paper. I'm trying to bring in I Look Up to You. I bring that in about 6 times without using it and move on. That one just made me giggle because this is supposed to be Marvel Embellishments and I brought in Batman. It's definitely a no-go. You're not supposed to do that. But he made me giggle because he was part of the superheroes, right? Then I'm going to do, I have this little strip of Avenger paper. And so I wanted to use the Marvel Comics as a plural because I didn't have a decent sized embellishment that had like all the characters jumping out or together or anything. I did have a smaller one. Oh, excuse me. I did have a smaller one, but I definitely didn't think that it would be as impactful as using just the word Marvel Comics. So I really like how this one turned out with the little blue star behind it, and I used the rest of that label behind the word Marvel and my star just for a different visualization type of deal. Okay, so I made this shaker. These are those temporary tattoos, and I actually adhered them, so I tattooed them to an acetate sheet, and I made this during my retreat or the retreat that I went to a few years back, and it was actually a challenge that I had all these tattoos, and I was like, what should I do with them? I really wanted to just put them on a layout because I bought at my very first visit to a Tuesday morning ever, and my only one, by the way, I bought these little round stamps that reminded me of Captain America's shield. And so I had all these really cool stamps, and I wanted to incorporate these tattoos somehow, some way. Well, somebody brought me some foam and acetate sheet and said, I dare you to make them into shakers. And then, of course, somebody else had like a ginormous bucket full of sequins. So I went through and I picked out sequins that matched each superhero and made a shaker out of every single one of them. And instead of just applying the tattoo onto my layout with my quilt stamps, I put the shakers on there. And this poor little Spider-Man head was the last one that I had. All right, here we go with another Hulk one, just because I knew as soon as I painted these green stars, I knew I wanted to do Hulk. Now, they don't really look green here in the video. They actually kind of look like a neon yellow, but they are a beautiful, vibrant green. Oh my gosh, it is Rita on the rocks, you guys. And yeah, I'm going to need more. Seriously, Rita's going to get used, let me tell you. But I love how this ginormous, again, he was a clear sticker. And so I had to go and fussy cut him out. But he just looks fantabulous with this star behind him and popping off the page out of this, like I said, it's a comic book blank, where the guy, the artist actually goes and draws the next section of the comic book within, within his little story. And so, of course, in my comic book, Hulk is coming out of it. He's coming alive. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, I put down my hero. Even though he's not my favoriteest character, he's still a great character. He's my son's favorite character. And I just like the fact that it said my hero, right on top. Those are Heidi Swap stickers, by the way, the purple ones that I keep using in case I didn't tell you guys that. Here's another one. This guy here looks like Superman. But I definitely don't have, it didn't make me giggle. I just liked the colors. I liked how everything blended really well. The word superhero went really well with these beautiful gold stars. And then, of course, they matched this little superhero guy perfectly. I'm going to ticket the corners real quick, or notch the corners, I guess is what they're called. It's a stub is what it's called. But yeah, like a ticket stub. Oh, duh, genius. And then I'm going to bring in this label to kind of ground all of my elements together. Even though they looked really good together by themselves, I think that the little label helps ground them. And then, of course, my star had two little nicks in its peaks. And so I just wanted to fix that real quick by chopping it off, and you don't even notice it unless I say something and point it out. Trying to still use that I look up to you, and I do not. And I am almost done with this one going on. I'm getting all of my pieces together that I knew I wasn't going to use. And I'm going to actually start with I Look Up to You, because I really want that one. And then, of course, I'm going to bring in my favoriteest character, which is Captain America. And I'm going to put this beautiful star behind him, just peeking out, ready to, burst out at any minute. I love this sticker. It is a chipboard sticker. One of my girlfriends sent it to me with an entire 80s or even 70s Marvel comic book prints in 12 by 12. And I still have a few, but I just was really thrilled that I got these original characters. That's the original Captain America, right? When he first was drawn into, and when he first, came into the movies, they put him in that outfit too. I mean, he makes me happy, okay? I'm just going to say it. Don't tell my husband, but he makes me happy. I'm a huge Captain America fan, you guys. It's not the person that plays Captain America, it's the character Captain America and what he is all about. So when it comes to Captain America, I mean, heck, during the parade for the 4th of July, I ran up to some stranger because he was in a Captain America outfit, and I had to get a selfie. Okay, that's how obsessed with the character I am. So anywho, I am taking Little Yellow School Bus, I just love saying that name, and splattering on a few, especially the ones that all had gold stars, yellow stars, things like that. And then these ones here, because I felt like they were blue bases, I'm going to take Witch's Brew and splatter on those as well. I don't mind if this gets everywhere. I just feel like it adds to the chaos that usually is around a superhero. That's what I was thinking when I first saw that. And I do love splattering with these too, because of the fact these little pots, because they dry really fabulous. They dry really fast and really special. I don't know how to describe it, you guys. Seriously, it's like little bubbles added to my project rather than just splatters. I have to tell you guys that on all the shiny stuff, once it dried, which it did dry, I was able to just flake it right off. It came off beautifully. I didn't have to wipe it off like on the Hulk right here. He just comes right off. It's amazing. So anyways, that is what I have for you guys today. I absolutely am thrilled. That still makes me giggle. I am thrilled with how these turned out. Now, I know that somebody's going to say, I can't wait to see these on a project. I don't have one intended. I am trying to build up my stash for the store. I use my clusters as thank you gifts for those that place an order in my store, and I have been out for quite a while, so I'm trying to build up my stash again. in order to get my thank you gifts back out. So that is what these are intended for, you guys. Yes, I know I'm giving away my Marvel stuff. I know I'm sharing a little piece of you, or a piece of me with you. Okay, anyways, it's getting weird now. Clearly it's past my bedtime, and I will talk to you all later. Be sure to check out Janet Fritz, who is also playing along with unconventional cut file usage. Also, check out the blog over at SHimmerz. There are some amazing, talented people over there, and they share their projects through YouTube, through Instagram, through the blog. However they do, just don't forget to check it out. Also, if you choose to try out some of these SHimmerz paints, drop my name down in the comments of your order and we'll send you a freebie. Yes, we will. So, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye!